Hello and welcome to the Soccer Show. We want to start by congratulating Hay Park and Dynamos on their win in the Charity Shield. With the 2013 season about to kick off, we will be looking at a roundup of the weekend results, interviews with special guests, future fixtures and rising stars, and a golden goal section from around the world. Plus, we'll have footage from the Southwest Football League and the Bunbury Foreign State League. In addition to all this, we will also be receiving some great fitness tips from Vamp Fit Bunbury. We would like to open this show with an interview with Perth's Glory right back, Josh Risdon. Our first guest, all the way from Perth Glory, Bunbury's own football star, Josh Risdon. Josh, welcome and thank you for taking the time and joining us on the show. Now Josh, just tell us a bit about your history of yourself and how did it all start for you?
Obviously I'm a Bunbury boy and grew up playing my first, I think 5 or 6 years down in Bunbury. Played for the Bunbury United Soccer Club and I think when I was about 15, 14 I moved to Perth, made the move to Perth. So when I moved to Perth I played for our ECU Junior Lup. I was there for 2 years as a junior and from there I was invited to National Training Centre, which is a training squad. We used to train 4 or 5 times a week up in Perth, and then from there I got selected into the Glory Youth team under Gareth Navin, which is and funnily enough he's our coach at the moment. So funny how things work out. And then from the Glory Youth I was selected into the first team at Glory.
Okay, fantastic. Now you mentioned that you trained 4 or 5 times a week. Were you living in Perth at that time?
Yeah, before that I was travelling up to Perth 3 or 4 times a week for the state team and for my club. So it got a bit too hard, and then I found out that I would have been training 5 times a week. So me and my parents made the decision for me to move up to Perth, and so just because it was going to be too hard travelling up from Bunbury to Perth 5 times. So.
Bit of hard work, but it all paid off.
Yeah, definitely did.
Oh,
yeah.
Well done. Now, Josh, you made your A-League debut in November 2010. Do you recall that game?
Yeah, definitely do. Up in North Queensland. I was a bit nervous before the game, and there was a lot of older boys encouraging me and giving me advice and that. But it's still pretty nerve-wracking getting out for your first professional game. But once I was out in the field, the nerves sort of just shook off me, and I was able to play my game. So, but yeah, it was a tough game for my first game because I think we were winning 1-0, and then ended up getting 2 men sent off. So we were playing with 9 men for the last 20 minutes. So we under the pump and then conceded a late goal. So, but I think I was pretty happy with my first game for my debut. So yeah, it was good.
Oh, fantastic. Now, since you mentioned it, Josh, you talked about sending off. You got a red card too this year.
Yeah, my first professional red card, and it was a bit of a soft one, I think. But yeah, you can't really argue with the refs, and you got to just cop it on the chin. But yeah, I was copping a bit of stick from the boys about it. So yeah.
Do you have any penalties to pay?
Yeah, well, there's a fine for red cards. You get a $100 fine. So wow. I had to chuck that into the kitty.
It all goes into the kitty at the end of the day. Now, Josh, you were selected to play for the Australian Olympic team in March 2011. Tell us about that experience.
It was a great experience. I think I was just at home one day and got the phone call, and I didn't know who it was, so I answered it, and saying that I was selected to come to the last game for the qualifier, and I was a bit shell shocked, to be honest. I didn't really expect it, but so I straight onto the phone to the parents straight after, and they couldn't really believe it either. But it was, I think it was during the week, so I didn't miss out on any games, which was fortunate. So. But yeah, it was a great experience. Got to train with some of the best players my age in Australia, and under some great coaches as well. But unfortunately, I was on the bench and didn't get to come on. But it was still a great experience for me.
Oh, that's fantastic! Congratulations for that, because I know you'd definitely be proud of playing for Australia. And Josh, again, the fantastic news that you won the Player of the Year last year for Perth Glory. So congratulations and well done on that one. Now Josh, you were born in July 27, 1992, but did you know that on that same date, Adelaide was founded, and that Bradman scored his last century for Australia? And believe it or not, in that same year, a player that you played against this year scored his first ever goal at a professional level, Del Piero.
Yeah, I didn't know any of that, but yeah, it's funny how things work out like that. Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on Del Piero coming up against him?
Yeah, obviously, when I found out that he was coming to Australia, play for Sydney, I just couldn't wait to get out and play against him, because obviously I've watched him in the World Cups for Italy and all that. And yeah, you think I was thinking about it before the game, and just what a player he is, and just how I'm going to be able to mark him and come up against him. But and yeah, he on the pitch, the way he goes about his football, he's just a class. He's just a different class. You can tell by the clubs he's played for, and yeah, the goal he scored against us, I think a couple of weeks ago, was just, I just stood there and just thought, wow. So yeah, he's an absolutely unbelievable player, and I'm happy, just like I say, I've played against him really.
It's great to see those goals during the game, but the best thing too is that you won 2-1 that game too, so that's even better.
Yeah.
So that's fantastic. Now you mentioned that you come up against it because Del Piero plays literally on the left side of the attacking midfield, and yourself being a right back. Have you played right back all your career?
No, funnily enough, I haven't. I started off my junior days as a centre mid, and played there for quite a while, and I was sort of getting used to it. But then when I was trying out for the state team, we sort of had too many centre mids, so the coach sort of just shoved me to the side and chucked me at right back to see how I go there. So yeah, and I ended up doing alright, and then I've just sort of stuck to right back. So yeah, it's been good.
So what are you trying to say is that you weren't good enough to play on the right side of the midfield, but you actually become one of the best right backs for Australia. So
yeah.
What a good coach you had there.
Yeah,
well done on that one. Now Josh, as a young footballer, who was your favourite player? Who did you pretend to be while you were training?
When I was growing up, I used to idolise David Beckham. I think just, yeah, he was an awesome player, and over time I would go out and train, or play in the backyard, always pretend to be him. So yeah, he's an unbelievable player, and he's still playing at the moment. So yeah, it's good to see him.
Fantastic. And do you curl it like Beckham?
I used to try every day. I had a little Beckham ball, soccer ball. I used to try, but no, it's not as good as him, no.
No, you're a good player. Don't let yourself down. Now, what is the best football advice that was given to you growing up?
Best football advice I've received is to have fun and enjoy playing soccer. I think, yeah, when you start out, you just got to enjoy it and have fun, and then I think you got to practice as well. I think practice and dedication is a big thing. Is a big thing in to be a great player that you want to be. I think I used to practice a lot, and I used to get up every morning. Well, not most mornings before school if I didn't have time after school. So I'll get out in the morning and just juggle the ball just a half hour before school, and may sometimes wake up mum and dad, and they'll come out and get angry at me. But no, it's good. Yeah, I think just practicing dedication is a big thing.
Well, I agree. Like you said, you know, if you want to if you have a dream and you have a goal and you have an objective, you need to practice whatever type of sports that in. And like you said, you were up before you went to school and practiced for half an hour juggling and kicking the ball around, and look where you are today. So, well done. Now, Josh, let's talk about Perth Glory. Who's the best dressed player in the team?
Yeah, the best dressed is probably Ed Burnsy, our captain. He's always looking his best, and he's always got good gear on. So he loves to pride himself in his clothes.
You said even before we did the show that even when it comes to training, he's always well dressed up.
Yeah, training he's looking his best, and you can't tell the difference between his going out clothes or his casual clothes.
Oh really? Now let's talk about, you know, again for Glory. Who has the messiest locker? Who's the one that leaves everything around?
Messiest, yeah, definitely Chris Harold. He's always leaving his stuff around the change rooms and his boots and that. So yeah, probably definitely Chrissy Harold.
Since you mentioned Chris Harold, is he that fast?
Yeah, he's probably the quickest in our team. Coming up against him at training, and unfortunately, actually, I have to come at training. I'm always on him. So, but it gives me good practice for when I come up against quick players like him on the weekend. So.
Oh, fantastic. And again, like you mentioned before, training is very important, practice is very important. Who's the hardest trainer in the team?
Yeah, definitely Burnsy, I'd have to say again. He's our captain and he shows it at training. He works just as hard as he does in training as in games, and yeah, it definitely rubs off on the players at training. If he's training seems to lift up a notch or two. So, but you got to keep out for him because he doesn't want to throw a few elbows in at training either. So, got to keep away from him.
And he does lead by example.
Yeah,
you know, which is very important. Again, you know, like every team always has somebody who plays the pranks, somebody who's the joker in the team. Who's the joker at Perth Glory?
Yeah, definitely Stephen McGarry. He's always around the change rooms, just having a laugh, trying to do his bit. I think his main thing is that he loves to get sneaky photos of the boys, just around the change rooms and maybe at the airport and eating a nice big burger or something, and chucks it on Twitter or Facebook or the odd thing like that, and see how many comments he can get. But he definitely loves to do that.
Oh, good. It's always fun, all about fun and games.
Yeah, it's all good
day.
banter, yeah.
Now, as you know, there are plenty of youngsters that be watching this program, Josh, and there's plenty of talent in the South West. Now, what advice would you give to these young players who dream of becoming what you are today?
Yeah, my best advice would to be if you really want to become a professional soccer player, I think you got to work hard and definitely follow your dream. I think that's the main thing I've learned. I really wanted to become a professional soccer player, and I didn't get out of my mind morning, day or night, and it came at a lot of risks. I had to leave my family for it, but I think in the end it all paid off. So I think you just got to follow your dreams, really.
Fantastic. Great advice there, Josh. Thanks for that. I'm sure that all these youngsters will definitely take it on board. Now, Josh, what team did you support when you were growing up?
Yeah, Liverpool was a big team of mine when Harry Kewell was there. So I looked up to him as like an Aussie that playing overseas, so I could be like that one day. And yeah, definitely Liverpool. So
Harry Kewell would play for Liverpool. You played against Harry Kewell, is that correct?
Yeah, I've been lucky enough to come up against him as well. So that was a good moment for me.
Oh, fantastic! That's excellent. And what is the best pitch to play in the A-League, in your opinion?
The best pitch, probably Amy Stadium in Melbourne. The grass is always nice there. You're always going to get good grass there. You can't really blame anything if you got a bad touch, because it's like carpet over there, and they wet it before the game and it just zips around and makes football a lot better.
Well, I think if you do have a bad touch, it means you haven't been training hard enough. That's what I always say to the youngsters. Now, Josh, what about some fantastic supporters in the A-League competition? In your opinion, who do you think has the best away supporters?
Yeah, definitely Western Sydney. We're funnily enough, they're the newest club in the A-League. But yeah, when we went there, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, their fans are so passionate, and they just didn't stop singing and chanting the whole game. And it definitely felt like you're playing in Europe or something with their crowd. It was unbelievable.
Oh, fantastic. And again, we've seen Sydney on TV against Perth Glory, and absolutely fantastic atmosphere, without a doubt. Now, Josh, Brazil 2014, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's not that too far away now. First of all, I would love to play in that tournament, but I still think I've got a long way to go. But yeah, if I can just keep progressing as a player and have another consistent year next year, maybe I'll get looked at and see if put my hand up to get into the squad.
I think, like you said, Josh, you definitely want to keep it in mind, because I think you're definitely one of the best right backs in Australia. And again, my advice to you is maybe score a couple of more goals during the games instead of hitting the post. Yeah. But we definitely, I think you will, if you work hard and play the way you're playing, you'll definitely be in the squad because you definitely deserve it. Now, Josh, let's look 20 years ahead. All right, so we're looking 20 years ahead, and what would you like it to have said regarding your career? So 20 years time, you're going to look back, and Josh Rissen's career will say,
hopefully in a few years it will say I've played over in Europe and played at some really big clubs. It's always been a dream of mine to play over in Europe, and yeah, obviously to have some caps for the Socceroos. I think that would be a great honour. Play for your country. And yeah, just to say that I've tested myself my whole career and always wanting to improve myself, even at the age of 30, 31, just trying to play even better. So hopefully I'll have a good career ahead of me.
Oh, fantastic! You definitely have a career, which will be a fantastic career in my opinion. Now, Josh, in conclusion, is there anything you'd like to say to anybody who's watching this program and to the football in general in the Southwest?
I'd just like to say all the best for the upcoming season to everyone in the Southwest, and hopefully you all enjoy your season, have a great one, and just to all the Bum United boys, hopefully they can get one up this year.
Oh, again, I knew you were going to mention that, Josh. You had to put it in there. But again, Josh, I'd like to thank you for making the time to come and see us today, and hopefully we can see you again in the future. So best of luck to you and your career, and all the best for Glory. Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Well, that's all for this week's show. Until next time, eat, sleep, and most importantly, have fun playing football.